Okay, so we're painting lions, but not just any lions. Basically, I'm adding a little bit of a fantasy element to each of them, and hopefully it will go okay. Okay, let's go. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, hi, I'm karo.lineart, and today we're painting lions. We are painting lion portraits specifically, but there is one that isn't a portrait at the end, so if you want to see that one, then you have to stick around, or I guess you can skip it. I won't, I'm not judging anybody. Painting these took me a while because I just couldn't settle for some of them. I kept switching things around. I also didn't really include one lion, so technically I painted 5, but I just didn't like it enough to include it here. I did share it on my Patreon, on Discord, and yeah, if you want to check that out, then there's always a link down below. Anyway, this first lion is inspired by an older piece. I've been kind of going back to my older pieces. I draw inspiration from them right now because there is a specific time where I just loved painting and I was experimenting more, and I keep going back to that time because I feel like that was really where I was feeling the most free, and I just really wanted to get that feeling back and not worry about other factors and opinions, or just, I guess, algorithms and everything else that just stresses me out. So I am kind of going back a little because after, I don't know what happened. I guess that the algorithm, the pressure just got me, and I started painting things that I thought would work better. But then again, we fall into this hole where, is it really me? I don't know. For this lion, I put this really bright red color underneath for the base, just because then all the colors will pop off more. They will have this red tint under them, and I really love the look. Plus, I was trying to go for this lineless look, but when you do an underpainting, you can still kind of make lines if you have little gaps here and there. I don't know if you can tell, but like the red is speaking through, and it's kind of giving the line impression that you went with something. I don't know. Does it make sense? But yeah, and then I decided that we will have a little flower lion, and mostly because I was looking at an older flower piece I did, and I really loved the bright colors. I think I could have gone even more intense because compared to the original, this is a little bit on the less bright side, but I decided to do one side of the petals more of a green, bluish, yellow tone, and the other side, the inner part, I guess, of the petals to be pinkish and purplish, because then we have this contrast and you can tell which is the inside, which is the outside. And since the portrait is the main point, I also tried to have this in between where the face is integrated enough but also still pops off. That's why also all the purples on one side are kept apart from the green, just so we have this color contrast and the face pops off more. And most of the time I leave the eyes for the last part that I paint, just because I want them to be the main focus and I can never decide how to really paint them. So for this one as well, I did them last and I decided to do this amber-ish purplish color, and I thought that it really pops off from like the overall face. Some of you asked what gel pens I'm using, and it's Languo, the brand, and I've been just using them for details for the whiskers mainly here. This second line is a little bit of a funny story, I guess just for me. I don't think it's funny in general, but as you could see, I did change the pose of the face. I didn't really like the first one, mainly because I wanted there to be kind of movement, and the first one didn't really give movement, and you will see what I mean in a little bit, because the mane will be kind of this liquidy, flowy wave. And why I say liquidy, it's just because at first I thought, you know what would be cute? A cookie lion. And what do we usually take when we eat cookies? At least I do. Milk. And I thought, wow, okay, I'm such a genius. I could draw a cookie lion and the mane is milk and this will go great, and it did not go great, just because at one point I wasn't really feeling it anymore. I tend to go very erratic with my ideas because sometimes things that I come up with don't really stick, or I just maybe it's the next day and I'm over it or something. I don't know. Idea wise, I can just go crazy, but I didn't do the cookie lion, and I think it's mainly because milk is so hard to paint. It's just white, and of course it's not like I cannot paint something that's white, because you can use other colors to make it seem like milk. But I thought, okay, I don't really know what I want to do for the background. I don't really know what else I could add to this idea. And for this portrait, I wanted to really just experiment, add things that I normally wouldn't really add. So yeah, I kind of left the cookie idea and went for this water wave idea instead. And to be honest, I'm not fully 100% satisfied with it, but my boyfriend said I need to keep it in because he really liked it, and I thought, okay, maybe I've been staring at it for too long. But to be fair, I was struggling with some of the contrast, so in a little bit I will add like this dark purple that I think adds to the piece and adds a little bit more of an interest in it, because it just, all of this here is, there are no huge value shifts, so I was really struggling with this whole idea. But speaking of cookies, I kind of want to redo my cookie cows, because I think that was cute, and that's just the cookie part. Maybe I can integrate it with milk in some way. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Maybe you have a better idea how I can use this concept. But for now, we're just painting this water line. I decided to add a pink background or pink base for this piece because I knew already what kind of colors I would be putting on top. So this is again where I just wanted the pink to give me some of that freshness, so I don't go too dark with the colors or I don't start muddying them, so this pink can also help me with that. When I was filming these lions, the light kept changing so much that if sometimes it's overexposed, it's because I didn't notice that it's too bright, and then I tried sometimes to see if it is and fix it, but it's hard to paint and also think about filming, so apologies if something is very overexposed. I tried to fix it, but sometimes it looks weird. But yeah, again, for this piece I decided to do the eyes last because I couldn't figure out if I wanted them to just be like this empty white blob or like actual eye, because I sometimes like when they're just white. I don't know, it feels like it's more fantasy-ish, but I went for this normal lion's eye, and then I decided to add these little dots for stars because they just add that little whimsy to the whole piece and I like how it looks. I decided to switch papers for the third lion, specifically, I guess not paper, but sketchbooks, because firstly, the paper of the other sketchbook is pretty good, but I needed a different format for this piece that I was gonna do because I really wanted to go very flowy with this one. So I switched to sketchbooks mainly so that I can have a longer space for the piece, because the other one is very A4 even if you flip it. So yeah, that's why we switched to sketchbooks. For this one, the paper is way smoother, there is no grit really, so the brush strokes you can see very clearly, which again, I like seeing brushstrokes personally, but maybe some of you don't, and that's okay. I forgot to press record for the start, where I put this very light blue for the whole lion part, the face and the mane part, and I also did some shading very lightly because since I wanted to do this galaxy themed piece, I wasn't really sure for what I wanted to do to the face. I knew that I wanted to be the lightest part, but it was hard to figure that out without really doing the main part, so I decided to just wait a little longer and start adding some colors, see how it works, see if we're too light or not light enough, I guess. But I mean, because of this, I was so unsure of the portrait, if it will look good in the end, because it was just staring at me unfinished, and just I was constantly thinking, can I pull this off? I don't know, because for this whole piece the idea was to do some fun colors and go for this galaxy theme. I wanted to add some constellations or stars, but I didn't really do that because the colors started to add up and it was just a lot, so I scratched that part. So at some point I thought it would be fun if the galaxy, this flowy mane, would come out of his eyes, and I thought it was a cool idea, but I didn't really fully get into this concept because I think I was just scared that that would ruin it somehow. I don't know why. For this third lion, I decided not to do an underpainting just because I thought all the colors will speak for themselves, and plus I really wanted the face to be really white so that it contrasts a lot with everything that's going on. And especially with the background, it had to be blue, so I didn't really add anything to that. For the eyes, I decided to do this pinkish purplish tone just because at this point, I guess I had a lot of pinks in here. I think they kind of get lost a little bit once I start adding more colors, but you know, I thought that the pink eyes could look cute. I did add some sparkles because I just couldn't resist, you know, if we're doing a galaxy theme, then there needs to be some type of a sparkle in there, and that just makes me so happy. And I also was jumping back and forth with acrylic paints and acrylic markers just because some markers really pop off against acrylic paints. So again, I wanted this piece to be just a kind of color explosion because, to be honest, I was struggling so much with all the lions that I just needed one where I'm not really thinking of what I'm doing, I'm just having fun, and if it ends up bad, then oh well, I guess I won't show it to you guys, but here we are and you can see it, and I guess if you can see it, then I like it enough to show it to you guys. At some point, the face was feeling too blue, too cold. So I started adding some warmer colors, some yellows, just because I thought it was too, I don't know, it didn't give me that color explosion yet. So I started adding some yellows here and there. Also, I am thinking of making an acrylic painting video that's towards like how to use them and tips and tricks, but to be fair, a lot of things come naturally to me, so while I'm making these pieces now, I'm really thinking of what is a good tip, and one that I can definitely tell you now is that you should have a wet palette for your acrylics, because I did need two palettes here because I was just going crazy with the colors I had. So one of them was my wet palette and one wasn't, and oh my god, the one that wasn't, the paint just kept drying out so fast and it's hard to navigate with it, but with the wet palette it's so much easier and the paint stays wet for so long. I will put a link down below with what palette I use, and it's really nice, and I think I once forgot about it for like a month or so and all the paint was still wet. Did I forget to press record again? Yes, I did. So we're at the last lion, and honestly, I wasn't sure if I wanted to paint this one. I had the idea of making a lava fire lion, but I was kind of tired and a bit, I don't know, in a funk. I don't know what type of a funk. I could explain it to you. I can't explain it to you. But yeah, I still did it. I think I could have done better if I had more energy, because honestly the body is a bit but I do like the main how I did it and how flowy and fiery it looks, and also the face, you know, it's not the worst face, and with the struggle of kind of making it that the fire does have a glow on the rocky parts. It's hard because you have to think about the light where it hits, and since it's all around, how it would affect the face and the body, but also how we can make it visible and nice to look at, that it doesn't really disappear into this glow from the flames. But hey, I think it looks nice in the end, and if you stuck around till the end and you're still here, comment fire kitty so that I know that you saw the one line that I didn't really do a portrait of, but a full body. I painted the base this yellow color because of the flames, so that I have this base already there for the glow, but I realized that since I added it also in the rock parts and then went with this blue color, it kind of made it green, which makes sense. So I had to fix that with going over more with some purples, because I really did not like this green tint that was going on. I still kind of worked with it. It worked out in the end, but I think next time I need to think about where I put this yellow, and maybe I should have just kept it at the fire parts. I added so many layers for this piece because I was really trying to make the glow part glow, but I don't know, maybe I was also very unsure about how I should approach this, because in the end I wasn't satisfied with how the body, the rocky parts were. But this also was inspired from an older piece that I did of a lion that's a rocky lion, and I've done a few other versions of it, but I've never done a lava lion. I've only done a tiger lion, I think. I've also done a rocky, I don't remember anymore. But yeah, it was a bit of a struggle to figure out the lava parts, or I guess the rock parts where the lava is coming out. It's not really coming out, it's just peeking through that there's like this glow. So I had to redo it a few times because it wasn't really working the way I wanted to. And yeah, figuring out how to manage this glow from the outside and inside was a very tricky part, and I had fun with it, and I definitely want to make more of these lava lions, but it's also, I just need to figure out maybe there's a better way to do it so I don't make as many layers as I did. And for this piece I decided to keep the eyes just this bright yellow color, no details in the eyes, because I thought this would really make them pop, and that like this glow, this fire is really coming from the inside. I couldn't resist adding little dots, light dots, you know, little sparkles, or I guess I was kind of going for a star vibe, but then I realized that doesn't make any sense, right? But instead, you know, how I'm approaching this is that obviously from the fire you get little embers flying here and there, so that's why I added some little dots, and they were both white and yellow, and I thought it just completed everything so nicely. Last thing that I also did was fix some of the edges with this white, my favorite white acrylic pen, because the silhouette was feeling just a little too flat. Okay, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know which line is your favorite, and hopefully I see you next time. Okay, bye!
Hold me tightly like I was there, and whisper softly in your ear that everything is gonna be alright.